Today we are going to review the cost of living in Caracas, and we're going to use it as a proxy to the rest of the country using the new data that we got from Numbeo. Numbeo is this popular website and platform regarding the cost of living and different nuances for expats and internationals and different parts of the world. So today, the cost of living in Caracas for 2024, according to Numbeo. So let's start.
Welcome to Venezuela Insider, the only place in Venezuela for expats, digital nomads, entrepreneurs, investors, travelers, and related internationals. For more information, venezuelainsider.com.
So these estimates regarding cost of living were made by 330 entries by different people using this platform, internationals living in Caracas, with 36 different contributors, people that, of course, internationals that live in Caracas. The cost of living in Caracas is 30% higher than the rest of the other important cities, bigger cities within Venezuela. The cost of living in Caracas is 43 more cheaper compared to the city of Dublin in Ireland. Of course, that's the reference that I got. And is 83 less expensive, the renting in Caracas compared to the city of Dublin, if you want to use Dublin as a reference. So the cost of living for a family of 4 members without rent is $2,384. Of course, this is using the CPI, the cost of living of an international, an expat, so it's not the average person that needs that within Venezuela in order to live in Caracas. Probably is way less. However, many internationals have a cost of living that is higher because they eat out on a restaurant more often, or they access to more fancy goods and services. Very good. And the cost of living for one single person with excluding rent is $642. And I kind of agree with those numbers. And of course, when you have a family of 4, most of the time is a couple with a couple of kids. And this couple of kids require education, healthcare, and leisure, and so on. And of course, that bulks of the total price, the total amount that you have to spend in order to keep certain cost of living. So according to Numbeo, regarding restaurants, you have the inexpensive meal for one person is around $10, and a more mid-range expensive place for 2 people with a 3-course meal will be around $55 without including the alcoholic beverage. Eating in McDonald's, the meal combo that you have from McDonald's is around $10 per month, and I will agree. Now let's go with the supermarket. A liter of milk is around $1.91, pretty consistent, that's what I pay. A loaf of bread is around $2.21, and still very consistent. However, there are cheaper alternatives on that regard. The fillets of chicken cost around $6.24 per kilo, so pretty consistent. That's kind of what I pay. Beef is around $7 per kilo, and a bottle of wine is around $8. And actually, I know some places that you can get it cheaper, so if you look around, you can get cheaper alternatives. Regarding transportation, standard fare for a taxi or an Uber or a ride-sharing service. We don't have Uber, we have alternatives to Uber, so keep that in mind, is around $5. This is in Caracas. You can get it cheaper actually on other cities within Venezuela, and gasoline prices are 50 cents or half a dollar per liter. It's way more expensive than it used to be in Venezuela. However, is cheaper than most countries around the world, not only Western countries, but also Latin American countries. Now let's go with utilities. And according to Numbeo's survey, the package of paying electricity, water, gas, garbage, is around, on average, $13.68. Way, way, way cheaper. This is where Venezuela, actually you can get some geo arbitrage regarding cost of living. For the rest, and also the gasoline, the rest is expensive. But you can see for less than $14, you can pay most of your utilities. That's a bargain. And the mobile phone costs around $15. Yeah, that's kind of the average. And hiring an internet provider service is around $40 per month. Yeah, pretty standard of what I got. Now let's go with sports and leisure. That's a category that they have on Numbeo. A fitness center per month is on average around $55 per month. Of course, you have more expensive alternatives, especially in Caracas, on the neighborhood of $200 per month. Yeah, most of my clients are shocked for that. But you have also alternatives of between $20 and $30 per month. Also, the rent of a tennis court is around $14 per month. Well, I wouldn't know because I don't play tennis, but yeah, it seems accurate. And the ticket, one entry ticket for a cinema, for going to the movies, around $6 per month. Yeah, pretty basic, pretty standard. Now let's go with childcare. The cost of a preschool is around $82 per month. Well, other thing that I wouldn't know, I don't have children myself. However, yeah, the prices that I got from my friends who do have children is around $100, $200 per month. Probably you can get cheaper options, but I mean, just giving the numbers. And an international school per year, the tuition is around $3,500 per month. And yet again, I wouldn't know. I don't have children. I probably will send them to international school. Most of them are in Caracas, by the way. And yeah, I'll say, I'll take the word for this study. Yes, around $300, $4,000 the yearly tuition. Now let's go with clothing and apparel. According to Numbeo, a Levi's jeans that are around $45 just per piece. A summer dress or a high-end summer dress is around $48. And Nike shoes, the pair of Nike shoes, are around $85. Well, I'm seeing outrageous prices like $200 for a Nike shoes. So that will be up to you. Let's go with rent. This is very important and something I have to specify on this particular data. According to Numbeo, renting a one-bedroom apartment on the city center is a little bit over $300 per month, and one-bedroom apartment outside the city center is $344 per month, one bedroom. Now, if we go with a three-bedroom apartment on the city center, it's around $600 per month, and outside of the city center is three-bedroom apartment, monthly rent is around $572 per month. Now, here's the main issue. You cannot base your staying in Caracas, believe me, I know about this, is regarding because Caracas has different areas, and the most posh areas, nicer areas are on the center-west side of the city, and there are particular areas that are very safe, and there are more, upscale areas of the city, and those are actually the rents that my clients usually get, and there are around $1,000 and $1,500 per month. Most of the time, the utilities are included. So take this information with a grain of salt. I'll put a canonized property, one bedroom, three bedroom apartment on the nicer areas of Caracas is around, the number is between $1,000 and $1,500 per month. So be careful with that. Of course, you can get these prices, but it will be a less developed, less upscale areas of the city. And of course, at the end of the story, according to Numbeo, Caracas has the least expensive basic utilities. The package of electricity, gas, garbage, water in the world, according to Numbeo, is number one, the least expensive, so you can do arbitrage on that regard. So depending on your particular cost of living, Caracas can be dirt cheap or crazy expensive. Now, I'm going to give you my 2 cents on this, and of course, with the rapport that I got from my clients, especially the ones, of course, that live in Caracas, more than half of my clients, when they come here, come to Caracas and stay in Caracas quite a bit. And of course, depends on their particular activities on the country. What happens is they consider the country expensive. And of course, because these expenses, these everyday expenses, like going to a restaurant or leisure and hospitality and so on, are more expensive with what they are used to compared to places like Bogota, which is cheaper, or maybe Buenos Aires right now due to the currency situation over there, the reinvertir en peso, or Mexico just before a couple of years ago when become very popular for digital nomads and so on. And of course, you can say the same thing regarding the Riviera Maya, Mexico as well, and Panama City and all that kind of place as well. The bottom line is that you are going to think, most of my clients, especially you're a Western, you most likely are a Western, listen to this, Venezuela is going to seem expensive compared to the perception of the country prior to your first visit. However, if you make a plan, you make a structure where you're going to stay, let's say, long-term, few months, you can get cheap renting, also cheap utilities, going to the grocery and so on. So you're going to know how to do the price discovery here, avoiding these high prices, because something that I get a lot is for Westerns, they have this mindset of gringo prices. That is usually Westerns, Americans and Europeans and Canadians and so on, Japanese people, they get a premium price compared to the average when they go to places like Mexico and Colombia or Argentina, places like that. Okay. In Venezuela, it's not like that. We don't have that culture of the gringo prices. However, you're going to see a bunch of high prices with a premium, not because you're a quote-unquote gringo, is because it is what it is. And so in Venezuela, it's very difficult, the price discovery. Something that you have to do for yourself, get the help of someone like me. In order to tell you the real prices, you have to, bargain a little bit. You have to look different options and so on. And of course, maybe if you want to get a great discount, maybe cut back a little bit from your expectations and so on. So it's something that you can arrange. Venezuela, like I said, is many times it's not dirt cheap, but it's not crazy expensive. So it's going to be, let's say, a little bit more expensive than you might think. More expensive than a couple of places in Latin America. Not all of them. It's not like Venezuela is the most expensive city in Latin America, and actually the Numbeo survey said it as well. And lastly, you have to remember that the prices in Caracas are going to be more expensive than the rest of the country. There are a handful of cities, beautiful cities, where you can get more bang for your buck, get your more value for your money, just outside of Caracas. And now, if you have to Caracas, you have to deal with higher prices. And that's the reality of the Venezuelan cost of living, especially regarding Caracas, according to Numbeo on 2024.
Thank you for watching Venezuela Insider. Please like, share, and subscribe. Follow us on social media. If you want to work with us, VenezuelaInsider.com. Thanks again, and have a nice day.